Well, I said I'd make an update video once Chapter 4 got completed, and here it is. For those just joining me, this is Persona 3 Portable Velvet Blue, a light novel that is currently being fan translated, and more recently, Chapter 4 has been completed. You can see right here that that Chapter 5 is 0% completed, Chapter 4 is 100% completed. And this happened just today, in fact. Well, technically, it was just minutes before midnight in my area, but it was still less than 24 hours ago. And I wanted to get around to this sooner, but some real life problems got in the way. I was kind of busy today, so I couldn't do it until now. I also said that I would get to reading this before Chapter 4 was done, but that didn't happen. I ended up trying to read Persona Cross Detective Naoto instead to see how bad it was, because I was actually really curious, because it has a complete fan translation. It can't be that bad if it has a completed fan translation. That was basically my mindset, although I did try to do so to go with as little bias as possible going in. I like going into things blind. And one thing to note about this translation specifically is that Luna Rouge has been taken off the translation team, which is interesting. I'm a bit curious as to why, but that can come later. Now, this should be where the video ends. I'm trying not to ramble like I did last time, but I also want to kind of use this opportunity to talk about the recent completion of two Shin Megami Tensei fan translation projects. The first of which is Shin Megami Tensei 1 for the PlayStation. This has now been fully fan translated. All of the items, all of the dialogue options, and now I'm really interested in playing this version because I really had a bad time. A lot of bad luck more with the Super Famicom version because of all of the bugs that's in it. I remember the one that really kind of broke my heart the most was when a key item to progress the story didn't appear in my inventory because my inventory was full. I'm sure that some people know what that is. And so rather than restart, I just decided to put it on hold for the time being and come back to it. But now that this version is up and at 'em, I think I might do this version instead, because I don't really like having to religiously follow a guide just to avoid bugs. Now, because this is a PlayStation port, that also means that the PSP eBoot is also available. Now, if you don't know what an eBoot is, it's basically an emulator on the PSP to play PlayStation 1 games. Here's a thing on the video game emulation wiki about it. I'll leave this in the description. But it basically just lets you play games on your PSP or the PSP emulator. And finally, the second one that I would want to talk about is one that's been heavily requested for many years now, the PSP port of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Now, I hated Persona 1. It was easily one of the worst experiences I've had in this franchise, but I've heard a lot of good things about Persona 2, and while Persona 2 Innocent Sin has been available for years, because it was an official translation, for whatever reason, Eternal Punishment never got that treatment, and so I and a lot of others have just kind of passed on it at this point. But now this is completed, I am definitely going to give this a shot. I have more things I have to play first, or at least plan to play first, I should say. I really don't want to give absolutes. But yeah, this is what I'm going to... But yeah, this I'm going to do relatively soon. And for those wondering why they should play this version over the PS1 original, here's a guide on some basics. And also, the original PS1 version had some typos that's been recorded on the wiki. So I have to question the translation, though it is clarified on the GitHub page for this, that this is just a helped up version of that version. But this does support imported data. If you have completed Innocent Sin on PSP, then you can actually get some new dialogue options, carry over some equipment, and a few other things that are covered here. Again, a link to all of these things will be in the description. That's just going to be all for this video at present. I do highly recommend you check out all of these for yourself. I am still going to cover Persona 3 Portable Velvet Blue, and I am going to give updates as these chapters progress. And once chapter 5 reaches 100%, I am going to update and I'm going to once again give an update video on that. And the same will happen with both chapter 6 and the afterword, because the afterwards can be very insightful to the creation of visual novels. That's something I have learned from reading a lot of afterwards, and they're very interesting. And I also plan on making a video proper about this light novel once it's completed. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that last time, but that is my intention. I hope that everybody's had a good July and will have a good August. And that's all for me. See you next time.